Welcome to the channel, everybody. This is Glenz's, and this is how I see it. Starting a new set called talking about how important it is to have fathers in your life. And one of the best father figures that I've had is the guy that I'm going to be talking to today, and we all call him Uncle. So in the description, you'll see it says we call him Uncle, and I'm excited to talk to him. He's the first person that actually responded to me, and he's the first father figure that I knew. I mean, I reached out to a lot of people and they responded, but he was the first to respond, which is cool. So welcome to the channel. And he goes by Granville, but we call him Uncle. What's up, Unc?
Hey man, how's it going?
I'm good, man.
Everything
I'm
all
good.
right?
Everything is good. I mean,
That's
people
good.
overuse the word excited,
That's
but I don't really know another word, because like I said, you're the first person to actually say yes, and I sent it out to at least 10 people at one time.
really
Yeah, and the other people did respond, but you were first. You know,
okay.
and this is my first interview, but at the same time, you was my first father figure.
Okay, man.
So it's a lot of
Thank,
firsts right there.
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, man.
Absolutely. I
Appreciate that.
appreciate you. My first question, and so we just gonna, just talk. The first question that I wanted to ask you is, what's the difference for you between a dad and a father?
Difference between dad and the father. You know, I guess what they, always, father always symbolizes the one who have, gave birth to that person. And a lot of times, just because that person gave birth to you, they not always considered a dad.
Hmm.
And a dad is always kind of a short name for a father. But some people don't always get, even though they're a father, they don't always get to be called a dad. And a dad is, just like everybody just have a name, and along comes a name, comes along the nickname. And when you get to start calling somebody a nickname because you feel closer to that person because you don't have to call
Mm,
them by their birth name.
okay.
Now they can call them by their nickname. And dad is almost more like a nickname to a father. And then when you have a nickname, that's the closeness that you have with your family. That's how I always consider it. So it's when you see things on applications, you fill applications out, and they asking you your mother and your father. Of course, they asking you who gave birth to you.
Ah,
But when it's coming to asking you who your dad is, a dad is more like a friend, a partner, somebody you can depend on, somebody that's always there. That's how
that's
I
cool.
always, that's how I look at it as being the difference between a dad and a father.
That's cool. I never did think about the idea of that. The giving a short name or a nickname it's endearing.
Yeah,
Right? Like we don't call you by your name at all. Like we don't even
right.
say Uncle Anthony. We say Uncle. Like we shorten your name for real, for real. That's pretty cool because some people have a different idea of what a father is. Some people reverse it. And
Hmm.
so I talked to a couple of people that have reversed it, but had the same thought process behind it. But I've
Hmm.
never heard like what you just said. So what made you? How would you describe yourself? Would you say you're a father, or would you say that you're a dad?
Well, I consider myself more of of both. I can't
Okay.
really divide the two because
Okay.
I always work hard at both. And I
Okay.
would be, I would feel bad if you didn't call me neither one, for
Ah.
my kids.
Okay.
If I get lost in a mix, I would never want my kids to say, "Oh, that's just my father," but my dad gonna come take care of me.
Okay.
He just cause the father just the one that basically just who gave birth, who gave birth to you,
Yeah.
and so to speak, he gave, and I always feel I feel both of those roles, for my family. I gave birth to them. They're my blood. They're my kinship, and
Okay.
then they also is related to me as a friend or someone that they can call on and depend on. That's a father. I would say your dad is like a nickname for a father.
Yeah.
You
So how did you come to the? What made you want to? I guess be both. Like some people, some men decide that they don't want to be either? Like, what made you want to be both? Does that make sense of the question?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense
Okay.
because like you're saying that some people do decide that they don't want to be a part of that child's life. And that's
Mhm.
the I never felt that that was a decision that I had to make. That
Okay.
I could make. Rather if I want my kids in my life. I think the major thing was in my life was me not growing up without a father. My father wasn't in my life, and
Mhm.
so. People don't realize a lot of things that kids go through when they coming up and things that they're challenging with, and that kind of what stuck with me. If when I was alone and I felt that when I didn't have a father, I always wanted to make sure that this not gonna happen to my kids.
Yeah.
Many times, and I felt that I wanted to do something, but I couldn't. I couldn't do it. Or I couldn't get it done because my father wasn't there. And I always
Mm.
feel that now this is not going to happen to my kids.
Yeah.
You know,
See, that's the thing that I would say. Like we were talking before we got online. I think if I had somebody that was there, I think they could have taught me how to change a tire. You
and,
know, like I told you, I had to wait 2 hours to get my tire fixed because I had no idea even I didn't know where to start. Uh,
oh man,
so that was frustrating. But I guess um, you know I think the good thing about it is that as far as not, I guess I don't even know how to say that it's a good thing not to have a father. But I think for me, not having a father in my life, it motivated me specifically to want to be a father and a dad even more. Right.
exactly, and and that's kind of where I came in at as far as wanting to be more of a father because of the father that I didn't have. You know, I mean, well, what well that wasn't in my life and
Yeah.
didn't show me love, didn't show me things that I felt that I need to know as a man just growing up.
Did
Just
you have
like
anybody? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say it again. I didn't hear what you said.
just like sometimes I was one of those kids that sometimes like go to school and you get picked on sometime and you
Oh,
might be
really?
in fear of just going to school because you wondering what somebody gonna do to you. But
Mm,
if you ain't have that person in your life that'll teach you that you don't have to be afraid.
right.
Anymore. You have to step up and try to take that challenge
Yeah.
because just like fear that freezes you. And
Yeah.
when you're in fear, you have no mobility that stop you from doing a lot of things.
That's a
So
good point. That's a good
so
point.
yeah. So
Did
I
you?
feel that if
So who would you
somebody had
say?
that challenge.
So you say you?
uh,
I'm sorry, you had cut out. Would you say?
Now I say that sometimes you have that fear in your life, that just freezes you. But if you have someone to motivate you, that you don't have to be afraid.
Right. Yeah, because I try to teach my kids that it's okay that you don't know how. You know, the best thing that you can do is try, and if you don't try because you're afraid, then you're not going to overcome it. Because I
Right.
have one of my kids that he's been afraid of the dark since he was like, I don't know, since he was like recognized the dark, he's been afraid of it. And even now he's afraid of it because even though I was trying to tell him, no, you don't need to be afraid of it and trying to help him face his fear, his mom was like, well, you gotta, he's afraid, so you gotta do. I said, I said he gotta figure it out that there's nothing literally to be afraid of, and if we enable him, then he's gonna continue to be afraid of it. You know,
Correct.
so
Yeah.
I think that's important for a man to be able to tell a young kid not to be afraid. You
Hmm.
know, because and then show them show them what that looks like. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so I the other question I wanted to ask was what makes you want to be like a father figure to like us? Like it's like a hundred of us.
That's
You know, it's like it's one of you.
yeah.
You know,
Because I still,
so what make-
I still feel that same way, even with with my kids, want to be the best father I could to be for them. And as well as y'all, then I see that y'all didn't, y'all father wasn't in y'all life. I
Yeah.
just wanted to be with y'all there, be there for y'all as much as I can. And even now, just like I still get excited hearing from y'all, and that's
Oh, that's
why
what's up.
I think I responded so quick when you send me that text. I said, "Oh man, Elijah thinking about me."
That's cool. Yeah. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
'cause
Yeah.
sometimes you know you can get so caught up in your own life that
Yeah.
sometimes you start forgetting about your family sometimes,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
sometimes it's good to hear from them. So
Yeah.
every now and then when I see y'all and text me or something like that, I try to respond and still try to be there for you,
Oh
the
yeah.
best I can. Yeah.
For sure. That's good stuff. So what you're saying is that you saw a need and you wanted to fill it.
Yeah, exactly. Because I didn't, I felt the loneliness of growing up, without a father, and
So you had an
when
idea of how we felt.
yes, yes. So
Ah, see, I never
just
knew that.
knowing,
Okay.
yeah, just knowing that, just simple stuff like, you know, uh, you walking to school, by yourself,
Yeah.
coming home by yourself.
Hmm.
I don't know if you know the phrase, latchkey kid. You ever heard of that
Yes,
phrase?
yes, yes, yes. Hmm.
So I was a latchkey kid,
Oh, really?
coming up.
Okay.
I had the door key, and when I was coming home, I was coming home, by myself.
Oh,
So
wow.
man, when that school bell rang at school, and I think that's how where I got my speed and endurance from. When
Really?
when that school bell rang, I'm chopping.
Really? Really?
I'm chopping because cause the grow up in West Dallas and the projects, and it's sometimes and that was kind of like a scary sight for me because some of the things that was going on in the neighborhood. So when I got out of school, man, I just used to just run straight home because I ain't worried about anybody trying to mess with me
Oh, wow.
from the school, the neighborhood boys or whatever, or even just the neighborhood hooters. So
Really?
I would just run mad dash to the house, man. Just,
Really? So, wow. This
I
how
just
far was the house?
it's probably uh I don't know. It seemed like about a mile when I was
What?
when I was coming up. It probably was less than it probably maybe about a half a mile maybe.
Wow.
Because I don't know if you probably don't remember the landmarks in West Dallas.
Just a little bit. I remember Pinkston. I remember Zales.
Yeah. So
I
we
remember
was
like
out.
the little freeway.
Yeah, I went to this school, Priscilla L. Tyler, and it was our way back to by the levee. You remember what a levee was?
I think so.
So it was like about half, and I don't know if you know where Sequoia was. Sequoia
It
and
sounds familiar. People have heard say that a lot. I
yeah,
can't. No, I can't picture it.
yeah. So it probably maybe about a half a mile, maybe a little less than a half a mile, or something like that. But but
Oh,
if
okay.
you're in the third or fourth grade, man, you
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you trying to
yeah,
get there?
you're trying
Yeah.
to get there, and then trying to get back home, So
So what kept you from like not being a part of the? I mean, I don't even know if word, but like, what kept you out of trouble? I guess. Like, if there's
well,
no father figure there, like, and you're running past the hoodlums and whatnot. I mean, you had a major opportunities to
yeah.
be a part of it.
But one of the things was the fear of my mother knowing that she gonna beat me down if
Okay.
if I
Okay.
get in those type of things, and for some reason that just didn't it just wasn't nothing I wanted in life.
Wow.
That just didn't something that I wanted to be. I didn't want to be a wine or a drug head. I mean, it's like this got to be something better in life than this.
Wow.
So and those things are just something that I didn't wanted to be a part of.
What age was that? Did you recognize that?
I mean, this is like probably about fifth, sixth grade.
Wow.
This is like
Wow.
fifth,
And
sixth
that's
grade.
usually when like they get kind of caught up right there.
Yeah, and I still had my ups and downs for acting out in school and
Right.
getting whooping from the principals or whatever.
You got
But
whooping from the principal?
oh man,
Oh, you gotta tell me about that. Like, why did you get whooping from the principal? I heard of paddles. It ain't never heard like a whooping.
Well, it was mostly, it was more like a paddling. We call it whooping then, but it was more like a paddle. You still kind of stood there and took your lift, but it licks. It was just acting up in the classroom, talking to your friends or whatever. Or just not paying attention. And like when then, like the teacher just didn't. You interrupting class, then they just tell you to go to the principal's office, and you go down there and tell them what you did. You just got your licks and went on back to class.
Oh wow.
So,
Okay.
There wasn't no like no in school suspension and all that stuff.
I know that is what it is right now. You talk like even then though, like even right now, if you talking in class, the teacher got to figure it out.
They just got to figure it out. But then, man, they'll send you down to that principal's office. What you down there for? He down there talking. Shoot, he go down there. You hold on to that chair and he light you up.
Oh wow, yeah. I think like when I got to paddle my let's see, kindergarten year. Kindergarten is when I got my first and last paddle, I want to say, and it was because I was fighting.
Oh, okay.
But I was actually trying to take up for another kid because they were trying to jump him.
Mm-hmm.
But because I used my jacket as a weapon, and the zipper cut the kid.
Oh man!
So that's why I got in trouble.
Oh, okay.
Like I was trying to help, and I got a paddle. So, but that was the last time. They don't do that too much unless you like in like the country towns.
In
the city.
This here was in the projects. I think the last time I probably had, when I got in trouble, I think it was like maybe the 5th or 4th grade or something like that. I had I don't know what I was doing. I think I was just talking in class or whatever. And, teacher just got tired of me, and sent me. But first, he just sent me out of to sit out in the hallway.
Okay.
And I just stood out in the hallway, with my little warning. But she just told me that whenever you get ready to act right, come on back in. So now I had planned on just standing out there the whole class. But when I was standing out there, the principal came walking up the hall.
Oh, okay.
And I ran back in the classroom when I seen. I didn't think.
Oh man!
And he came on in there. Yeah, he came on in there and asked, who was that out there? And she pointed me out. Came up in front of the class and he gave me my licks.
What in front of the class?
Yeah, in front of the class.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, in front of the class, man.
Wow. Hey, that will get you acting right. That's probably where you get that from.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, I remember. I remember at one time my mama brought me. Man, I was so afraid. My mama I had been acting out, and she brought me to your house. We live 30 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I can't deal with you. I'm finna take you to your uncle. Oh, that was man. I don't think you gave me a whooping, but man, I felt like I got one. The ride over was so stressful, But I because I respected you so much, and I was like, man, I don't let this dude down. I mean, I love my mom, but like I'm letting uncle down. Like it's a different thought process, Yeah. So I still remember that. I think I was like 15, 16 years old. I don't even know if you remember that or whatever. Mm-hmm. But that was that's how I felt about you. So what would you say is the one thing that well, let me ask a different question. How did you decide on naming your kids? Like, because everybody, every father's not in the room to be able to name their kids. How did you do that? So how did you decide?
Well, I just and I always wanted to, my kids to be a part of me. So, and I just wanted them to carry parts of my name. So that was just basically how that went.
Really?
And
so did you get to name both of them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got Junior, and then you got Antonice. That was part of my name within within her name, Antonice.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty simple. So did it take you long to do that, or you had already had an idea?
No, I kind of already had an idea that if I had kids, This is what I
Okay.
want my kid's name to be.
Man, you had already planned what the name of the kids. What? So when were you thinking about having kids? Like not necessarily having kids, but uh, what was the forethought of I might have kids? Like how old were you then?
Well, and man, to be honest with you, man, that was like
Really?
junior high, like high school, because that was kind of like a end thing. Just young kids having kids.
Okay.
That was like a lot of that was kind of going on in the neighborhood. You know, uh, kids having kids.
Kids having kids, yeah.
People
And so
getting
you had to
pregnant at
kind of have an
16
idea.
and 17 years old. So you kind of have
Oh, okay. So your
an
time,
idea.
your mind. Oh yeah, okay. I got
Yeah,
you.
you kind of have an idea of, if this happened to me, what would I do type thing. And not that I didn't want that to happen. You
Okay.
know, I actually still just wanted to stay at home and take care of mom.
Really? Really? So
Yeah,
you was a mama's boy.
yeah, it was a mama's boy, and I wouldn't say so much of a mama's boy, but I just felt,
I'm just saying, not in the negative sense, just saying that like you just really wanted to be around your mom.
yeah, I just did well, and just wanted mom to take care of. I
Okay.
just wanted to take care of mama because I always felt that, that it was always a struggle for her for as raising 8 kids on her own, and
Mm,
she always had like 2 jobs the whole time I
wow.
could remember of growing up, and we always needed so much, and she
Yeah.
always just had so little, and I
Yeah.
always just wanted to reward her, you know,
Got
and,
it.
and just that's a time that she can just sit back and relax and not have to worry about anything. It's just like kids do. When they ain't worrying about too much anything, but they see something they want it. And
Yes.
sometimes our responsibility is to provide for them. And that's what usually just on the thing going through my mind, just trying to get my mom out the projects and just trying to take care of her, so she wouldn't have to want for so much. So that was
Wow.
more my focus, and that's part of the reason, just trying to stay out of trouble and not do those
Mm,
fruitless things because I didn't want to disappoint mom.
wow. I
Yeah.
never knew that. That's pretty cool to know that your mindset was in what fifth grade that you were thinking about how could you get out to take care of your mom,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So when did you and go ahead?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask you. So when you got to junior high, because you were talking about running track, like was that what you thought was going to be how you were able to get her out?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. Because of course, when I was doing all that running as a latchkey kid, just trying to
yeah,
get away.
right.
Just kind of, I noticed that I was, getting faster and getting stronger. So of
Really,
course,
just
I
running to the
know,
house?
huh?
You saying just by running to the house you recognize that?
Yeah, I just recognized that just getting stronger because I knew that like when you run it, like say when you first start running and you're gonna only run a certain distance, and then you notice your stuff gets tired, you might have to stop and start walking. So
Right.
and as stronger you are, you figure that you can hold that stamina, along the way. So
Okay.
I was feeling myself getting stronger. And then of course, like when they used to have those like field days and stuff, and
Mhm.
in school, and I was always out running everybody in the class. So as I
Oh,
noticed that I was just stronger and even kids in the neighborhood, I was faster than most of the kids in the neighborhood.
oh
So and
wow.
I figured, hey man, track gonna be my thing, especially
Okay.
I think my first track guy was Bob Hayes. Bob Hayes
That
ran in
name sounds familiar.
yeah, he's a receiver. He was a receiver for the Dallas Cowboys.
No
Yeah,
way.
yeah, and he won a gold medal in the I forgot what year it was. He won
In
the
the
gold medal in
Olympics?
the Olympics. Yeah, he's an
What?
Olympics 100-meter runner. Boy, bad.
What? What? You got to be bad to win a gold medal, unless
Yeah,
everybody just fail. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. The
Wow.
bullet. They call him. Yeah, they call him Bullet Bob Hayes.
Wow.
Yeah,
That I didn't know that.
yeah. So
New
that was
nugget right there. Appreciate that.
yeah
Wow.
that was my guy. He's the first one to start giving me inspiration to start running track.
So how'd you meet him?
I never met him. I just seen him on TV.
Oh, okay. So on T. Oh, so Did he play for the Cowboys?
Yeah, he's a Cowboy. He's a receiver for the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, and so you would watch him and you follow his story.
Right. I would just follow the story. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, that's cool. And so then, did you start like when you got to middle school? Were you on the team then?
Yeah. I didn't start running. I didn't start running track to high school. I think I
Oh,
tried out for the track team when I was in junior high. I didn't make the track team.
oh, okay.
I didn't
What?
make it, and then yeah, I didn't make it because I could beat everybody in my neighborhood, but like uh, when you start expanding, same way like when you in school and you in your district, you can beat
Yes.
everybody in your district, but when you go to region, and start to
No,
expand, hey man,
I've had
these guys,
that happen before.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the eye opener there.
Okay, I got you. So high school, and then so in high school, what year was you starting? I mean, like was it freshman
I
year?
started my freshman year. My freshman year, I started running, but then I still wasn't as fast as I thought I was, and then I just had to training harder after
Did you
that.
have somebody to train with?
No, it was just stuff that I was just picking up on. I just knew I had to get out there and run, and I would do some exercise and just get out and run. I just get out and run as far as I can and as fast as I can, and I just started getting stronger that way.
So what was your race? Would you say
400 meters.
was that your favorite race, or that's just what you were good at?
Yeah, I think that's what I was good at, so that became my favorite.
Because I remember running the court. I remember running the 400, and man, I was like, man, I'm running. I'm like, how do people do this? Man, and I had to do it because coach wanted me to run it. It wasn't because I wanted to run it. Like, we gotta get these points, E. It's like, dude, you find somebody else to get these points. This is hard. So you end up liking it, and then when did you see? Like when was the transition to see that you was good enough to go to college?
Well, that was good enough to go to college. It was just a matter of just being the best in your district, and kind of being the best in your area, and just picking up on that, and then scouts just seeing you and sending you letters and stuff to try to recruit you to the school.
Oh wow!
So
And so how did you decide on where you were going to go?
well, actually, my coach decided for me.
So you didn't have it. You didn't. What?
Because it was another thing with the counseling thing. I really wasn't even anticipating on going off to college. I was just
Really?
I was just really focusing on finishing up high school.
What?
So like even my counselors at school, they didn't give me any guidance or far as trying to get me ready to go to college or anything like that. They ain't never
Wow.
mentioned anything, and I was getting these letters, but I didn't know how to go by of trying to apply for it.
Wow.
But then my coach just kind of came over to the house one day and help my granny fill out those financial aid forms because I knew it wasn't I wouldn't knew we couldn't afford go to school.
Yeah.
He came over and asked me what I think about going to PV. I ain't have a clue where PV was.
Seriously? No way. What? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so
You didn't know
he
what
came
Kirby
over.
was. No.
No, see, he came over because he was a PV graduate.
Okay.
Yeah,
So he's
so
biased. Okay.
so he helped Granny fill out the financial aid paperwork and asked me did I want to go. I'm like, I ain't doing nothing else.
Wow. No way. That's a good coach, man. Do
Yeah,
you
so
remember his name?
it's Robert Newhouse.
Shout out to Robin Newhouse. Like, what do you think you would have been doing if you didn't go run track for PV?
Oh man, I probably probably been stuck in West Dallas and hopefully just trying to fend off for not going down the wrong roads because I
So you
know
think it changed you like that?
yeah because it just helped me want more do more
Mm,
because
okay.
initially I was just working at Jack in the Box. That's what when
Man, that was the tradition, wasn't it?
that's what just one of our I think everybody is in the
I
family was
think
working
that
at
was
Jack in the Box.
franchised by now.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but we always, but of course, when after I went off to school and then got married and had kids, I knew that Jack in the Box wasn't gonna do it for
Okay.
me supporting my kids.
Okay.
And that when I just started branching out, trying to find, trying to find better jobs, just to support my family.
So from when you had the kids, so then where did you start working?
Well,
Like
I
if
initially
you
started working at this place called Heart Child Collection. It was a warehouse. It was a mail ordering warehouse where we fill mail orders from the catalog, and
okay.
and process them, and they mail them off. I
So you
started.
were just you were trying not to that's where you got your first job because that's what you wanted. That's not what you wanted to do, but you knew you needed money. Is that what that
Yeah,
job was?
it wasn't in an. It was just. I just know I needed, be a better provider for my family.
Oh, okay. Okay. Mhm. Okay.
And I think initially, Muddy was working there, and
Oh wow.
she had told me that they was hiring, and then I went over there and applied, and got the job over there and started working over there with Muddy.
Oh wow. That's cool. So when did the transition happen to where you wanted to move from there, and then you said, okay, I want to be like a police officer. Like
Yeah.
when did that transition? Because
Yeah.
that's totally different from
Yeah. Well, and everything always was centered around me providing for my family.
correct.
Wasn't really so much of something that I wanted to do. Like this is this is the profession I want to get into. So I want to set goals or go toward this. It was more like, they paying $10 over there, and I'm making 8. Well, I need to go over there.
Okay, okay, I got you.
Yeah,
I've been there
they
before.
making $12 over there. Hey, I need to go over
You
there.
know it needs to be over there. I gotta go where the money is, man.
I gotta know go where the money is, and that was kind of what led me into getting into law enforcement.
Really?
Yeah, because I eventually got the job at being a detention officer, and it was always just trying to make more money to provide for my family. Man.
Wow. So coming from being a oh man, see that's cool. See, I didn't know that part that you was a detent. I think I do, but I can't. I vaguely remember. I just remember police academy and that you were transitioning to be a part of the police academy. And
Yeah,
so everything in your mind was how can I take? So you went from how can I take care of my mother to how can I take care of my family.
right,
But in
right,
your mind, you as I'm remembering from the fifth grade, you were always trying to take care of somebody because you knew that they needed something that you had. As opposed, like for example, you knew your mom had was having a hard time, providing, and then and so you said, I need to figure out how I can help her with that. And then you say, well, I got a family now. I got to figure out how can I help them, right?
right.
So that sounds like what a man is for sure, and more so even a father, right? A father and a dad, or a dad, because we talked about it being a nickname. That
Hmm.
so this what happened for me when I became a dad. I'm wondering if it happened for you. When I had my first child, uh Gianna, I held her and I was like, why would I leave this? Like
Right.
that was literally my first thought. I
Hmm.
held her and I was like, this is surreal, and I can't believe that anybody would walk away from this.
Right.
What do you remember something like that?
Yeah. Matter of fact, this is kind of where it happened with me. I was still in school, and Teresa, my wife, she was at home because she was getting ready to have my oldest son, Anthony Jr.
Okay.
I was still trying to. I think it was my junior year in college, and we was going to we was getting prepared to run in the what is it? The NAIA championship.
I think I remember that. I think
Yeah.
we were
So
living in Houston during that time.
yeah, because I had it was Mother's Day weekend, and I was coming home Mother's Day weekend. Coach let us come home, and just so happened I came home. Trees had Junior. So, but in the meantime, I was supposed to be going back to school, finish up track season. So we were going to be at NAIA, and then we was going, if we, made it through NAIA, we were going on to NCAA, track meet.
Right.
And we was getting ready, trying to get, I was getting ready for that. So, Trees had Junior, and then I was supposed to be going back to school. Wow. So one of my father figures, Johnny Beatty, he had married Granny.
Okay.
So came home, and went the weekend. Junior, had Junior. Then it was time for me to go back to school. So I was over Granny house, and one of the guys was coming to pick me up to take me back to school. And Johnny asked me, say, where you going? I said, I'm going to go back to school. He said, don't you got a kid now?
Wow.
I said, yeah. He said, who's going to take care of him?
Wow.
I said, I am.
Really?
And I went outside, and when old boy pulled up, I went outside and told him, say, man, I can't go.
What?
Yeah. And I never did go back to school after that.
Wow.
That next day, I went and found a job.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But that was a man stepping in right there.
Yeah.
And interceding in a time that you didn't. I mean, you had other plans. But he stepped in and was like, listen, nah, you can't do that. This is what you need to be doing.
Yeah.
What made you be like, oh, okay, yeah, he's making sense, as opposed to like, man, listen, I'm gonna go do what I want to do. Like,
yeah. Well, that was always in the back of my mind for us. When I have a child, I want to be there for him.
Okay.
Support him the most way I can, and it was more of a wake up call, to know that, hey, this is you remember what you said you was gonna do.
Okay.
Make sure that kid is never without. So it was more of a wake up call when he told me, hey man, where you going?
Wow.
You got kids now. You got a kid now.
Wow. That's cool. That's cool. Have you ever told them that story?
I think I have. I think I told them that before.
That's cool. I mean, what I mean by cool is that you, in that moment, you realized that you had a major responsibility and you were not about to argue with the truth.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? As opposed to, like, I've talked to, I don't have a lot of friends that are not taking care of their kid. But when I was in college, I did. There was dudes that had kids and they would never be around, and it wasn't really a big deal to them.
Yeah, and it's amazing now that some people that have kids that don't never support them, don't never see them, and they don't think nothing of it. And I don't see how I could ever do that.
Yeah, it doesn't process to me. Like there are just some things that just I can't compute it. I don't know no other way to say it. Like I just can't get with that program. But I want to ask you a couple different off the topic questions. These are like just funny questions. Okay. Like, all right, maybe funny. I don't know. All right. We'll keep it simple. What toys did you collect as a child?
I wouldn't say I could collect it in the toys. I had a favorite toy.
Okay, what was your favorite toy?
My favorite toy was Mom bought me a $6 million man doll.
What? Wow. How old were you when you had that?
Man, maybe about 5th, 6th grade, maybe somewhere along in there. It was an action figure doll, and man, I used to love that $6 million man. Oh man, that was.
It's a collector's item now.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't have one.
You may have $6 million. Like, because I was watching this show and it's like Junkyard Show, where they go ravaging for stuff, and like I think they found one, if I can remember correctly, and it was worth a lot of money.
Wow.
So, Yeah, and some of them be back in the box and things of that nature.
Oh
Yeah. When do you think you lost it?
man, probably shoot before I
The
got. I
next
know I lost it before I got to high school. I mean, before seventh,
Oh,
eighth
okay.
grade. Because I was it was. I remember I was younger, so it had to be around about fifth, sixth grade. So by the
Okay.
time I was in junior high, I don't even think I was
Yeah,
playing with it then.
playing with it. That's probably why you lost it. For sure. Okay. All right. So let me see if you answer this question. Do you remember uh like any of that you care to share, like your embarrassing moment in school, like when you were younger?
Oh, well, that one, I think my most embarrassing moment when I got whooping in front of the classroom. I was telling you about when I was.
Yeah, that I don't know what would top that.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. So how many licks did you get?
I don't know. It had to be at least maybe 5 or 6, something like that.
Mm,
I can't
those have
remember.
to be quick too. 5 or 6.
Yeah, and they
Mm,
used to stroke you like, pow.
wow. Wow.
It wasn't nothing like it wasn't no woman like that. It was like sticking with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I think I know the answer. Okay, I'm gonna ask you another. I think I know the answer to this one, but you can let the audience know. What's your favorite time of the year and why?
Oh man, Christmas is my favorite time of the year. Of course that's the birth of Christ. Came to shed love and to save the world. And
Mm,
one of the another main reason is one of the things getting together with my family. To share Christmas and to show just to show love to one another, getting to see everybody. Because everybody have their busy day. Through all out the year. But most of the Christmas time is the time that we all come together and show love to one another. Just like Christ showed love to us.
mm, that makes sense. That Joshua, that's my oldest son. He doesn't necessarily say that's his favorite time of year, but he likes any time that the family has to be together.
Yeah.
He doesn't like going out with me by himself. He doesn't want. He likes playing with his brother, but he requests this that the family do something together.
Oh, that's amazing,
And he's 9, and he does that on like a regular basis.
man.
Right. So y'all similar in that fashion.
Yeah, that's up. That's what's up, man. Because it's always good that the family show that unity and everybody's being as one. It's just a beautiful thing.
For sure. I got two more questions. The next one is, do you remember who your best friend was growing up?
Well, I had two best friends. I had a one's name was Anthony Spencer.
Really? So you had the same name.
Yeah, we had the same name. We stayed
Okay.
next door to each other. He was like my
What?
alternate.
Hold on, pause. Okay. So you had a best friend named Anthony, and
Yeah,
y'all stayed next door to each other.
right.
That's crazy. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he was like my alter ego. You know.
What that mean? I don't know what that means. You got to clarify.
But see, I was always the nice one, always doing nice stuff, but he was always fighting and getting in trouble.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got you. Would he say the same thing?
yeah. Well, I'm sure he was cause
Okay, for sure. Okay, Anthony Spencer.
yeah, because I think when we got in high school, he was still getting in trouble, and
Oh wow.
I was still trying to be nice and go in the right direction.
Okay.
So after I had graduated, of course, I think he wound up dropping out of school.
Mm.
I graduated, went on to college, and I came home one summer or something, and I seen him, tried to hook up with him so we could hang out. And he didn't want to hang out with me no more, man. He was
Because
like,
you
oh,
was a college person.
yeah, because he was like, oh man,
Mm-hmm.
you think you better, than I am. I'm
Yep.
like, oh man, I ain't never felt that I was better than you. I'm trying to do better.
Yeah.
But I ain't never felt that I was better. So he used to call me an L7.
Oh wow. Square.
Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah. So even after that, so of course we didn't kick it anymore. And then like some years later, when I became a detention officer and working at the jail, I seen him in the jail, and he seen me.
What?
Yeah, and he said, no, what's up, man? So not too much, man. He said, you still a L7?
What? What? Did he not recognize the situation?
And I guess not, man.
Wow, that's unbelievable. Okay,
He said, you still a L7? I said, yep, sure.
and that's what got me here.
Is that what got me here? Yeah, that's what got me here. And that's what I'll be.
Wow, that's crazy. And then you had another one, another best friend.
Yeah, another best friend is Kenneth Quillins. He was mostly my friend. We was real tight too because he was like more of a. I hung out with him more at school, and then I would hang out with Anthony more at home.
Okay.
Yeah, he was more my school partner, and we ran track together and everything. And he went to he was my roommate my freshman year. Yeah, he was my roommate my freshman year at PV.
Okay.
And then we was he was my the godfather to my children.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah,
He was
and
that close. Okay.
Yeah, but of course he then he just disappeared. I don't even know what Canada is now today, man. We just lost touch with each other, and we used to hang out all the time. Then because he was stayed up kind of like up north, up north Dallas.
Okay.
And then we hadn't moved to Lancaster, but we had lost contact with each other, and we really ain't seen each other since.
Oh yeah, because you did live somewhere in North Dallas at one point in time.
Yeah, we used to stay over there for us, Skillman and Howard's Highway.
Oh yeah, I remember that at whooping that we got. That's why I remember Skillman. I ain't gonna say who whooped us, but I'm just saying I remember that.
Train up a child and where he should go.
Hey, listen, I remember that. This is the last question.
Okay.
And I really appreciate you coming on. What would you want your legacy to be? What do you want your legacy to be? So, what would you like for your kids to say about you, or however you want to answer the question is fine. But
I guess my legacy for my family is that I would always show love and support, to my family. Whenever they in need, or whenever they just needed somebody to talk to or to lean on, and that I was there for them, that I was a supporter of of their needs, and I always there to show love, and support, for my family.
That's what's up. Well, I appreciate you coming on to my new podcast, Glenn's is How I See It, because everybody had their own perspective.
Okay, you're right.
And so I'm just telling you mine.
Okay.
And people can agree, disagree. I'm okay with it. And so I just usually tell them, like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, and we'll have more of these. And I appreciate you being the first.
Okay, man. I really enjoy it, man.
For sure. It was a cool way to talk to each other since we don't get that much time to talk to each other on a regular basis.
Right.
For sure. Well, tell Aunt Teresa I said hello. Love y'all. And I got to go take Gigi to practice.
All right, man. And give your family a hug for me. Love you.
I'll do that. For sure. Love you too.
All right. Bye.